Welcome to The Explainer. Today we're going to break down a really fascinating study that gets into how we make first impressions. And it turns out there's a huge piece of the puzzle that a lot of us are completely missing.
So let's just jump right in with a question that, we've all heard a million times, right? Does the outfit really define the woman? I mean, we see it everywhere. Headlines, online arguments, and if we're being honest, we all sometimes jump to conclusions based on clothes. But what if that whole debate is just way too simple? This new research suggests we might be asking the wrong question altogether. See, it's not just about the clothes. There's something else at play, something that totally changes how we judge people.
Okay, so to really get into this, we all need to be on the same page about one key term: objectification. The researchers use a pretty specific definition here, quoting Fredrickson and Roberts. They say it's the experience of being treated as a body, valued predominantly for its use to or consumption by others. And that is the central idea this whole study is digging into.
So you might be wondering, how on earth did they actually test this idea? Well, let's break down the experiment they set up, because it's actually pretty clever. They wanted to figure out what really pulls the strings on our perceptions. Is it the clothes, or is it the situation? So they focused on two main things. First up, the clothing. They had a high-exposure summer outfit and a low-exposure winter one. Pretty straightforward. Then, and this is key, they added context. They told people the woman in the picture was either heading to a party or a job interview. So right there, you've got 4 totally different scenarios they could show people.
And for the people in the study, it was super simple. They'd see a photo of a woman. They'd be told the context, she's going to a party or she's going to an interview, and then that's it. They just had to rate her on a whole bunch of different traits.
And we're not talking about simple like or dislike ratings here. They got really specific, breaking it down into 3 big categories. First, objectification, things like how promiscuous she seemed. Then professionalism, was she competent, confident? And finally, her capabilities. Did she seem intelligent or determined? A really wide range. Okay, so they run the experiment, and this is where it gets really interesting. The results start pouring in, and yeah, some of it was what you'd expect. But one of those factors, it started to stand out as being way more powerful than anyone thought.
First, let's get the predictable stuff out of the way. The study found exactly what other studies have found. Women in the more revealing summer outfit were rated as more promiscuous. Not a huge shocker, right? But that is so not the whole story. Because then you bring in the context. And get this, women who were just said to be dressed for a party were also seen as way more promiscuous than women dressed for an interview. And that was true no matter which outfit she was actually wearing. So here's the kicker, the really crucial point. The researchers realized that the context, just knowing where she was going, had a bigger impact on a wider range of judgments than the actual clothes did. We're talking about everything from how reliable or intelligent she seemed to how determined she was. Suddenly, the situation was looking like the real main character here, not the outfit. And all of this builds up to the study's biggest, most powerful finding. It's something it could call the mismatch penalty. And it's exactly what it sounds like. It's what happens when the clothes and the situation seem to clash. And this is where you can see that penalty in bright, flashing lights. So when a woman wore that summer outfit to a party, people rated her confidence as pretty high. But take that exact same outfit and put it in a job interview, her ratings for confidence and power just nosedived. They absolutely plummeted. To put a number on it, her perceived confidence dropped by about 17% when she wore the summer outfit to an interview, compared to the woman in the winter outfit in that same setting. See, it wasn't just about the outfit. It was about the outfit being in what people saw as the wrong place. So let's just hammer this point home, because it's the big one. The biggest penalty, the most negative judgment, didn't come from how revealing the outfit was on its own. Nope. It came from that clash, that mismatch between the clothes and the place. The context was like an amplifier for judgment. All right, so what do we do with all this? What does this mean for you and me, out in the real world? How can we actually use this to maybe judge a little less and understand a little more? Well, the study's author, Megan Sherman, she really puts it perfectly. She says, the research led to this unexpected finding that context may matter more than just a revealing outfit. It sounds so simple, but think about it. That's a really powerful idea.
And what that means is we can actually try to make a shift in our own heads. What if, instead of our first question being, what is she wearing, we consciously make it, okay, where is she wearing it? Just that little shift could completely change our automatic first-glance judgments.
And that kind of leaves us with one last big question to think about. What if the real key to fighting back against objectification isn't about policing what people wear, but about training ourselves to look for the context, to understand the situation they're in? Maybe it's all about where, not what.